مساء الخير أعزائي المشاهدين، وحلقة جديدة من برنامج مصدر ثقة. النهاردة ضيوفي مختلفين ومتميزين ومهمين جدا الصراحة يعني مهمين جدا. النهاردة منورني معايا في البرنامج بتاعي معايا واحد مقدم نفسه. هنعرف دلوقتي ايه ترتيب الحكومة والكلام ده كله، هيشرح لنا كل الكلام ده. فولاية كاليفورنيا ليها 2 بيمثلوا اليو اس سنت. طبعا اللي معايا النهارده معايا إريك إيرلي، هو مرشح لواحد من ال2 سيتس دول. فمعايا إريك إيرلي وهنعرف عنه كل حاجة كمان شوية. ومعايا كمان 2 مهتمين، طبعا إريك كمان مهتم جدا بقضايا الأطفال، ومعايا 2 بقى شالوا قضية الأطفال على كتافهم زي ما بيقولوا، وابتدوا يعملوا قانون عشان يدافعوا عن أطفالنا ضد قوانين كاليفورنيا اللي طلعت مؤخرا، اللي هي بتهاجم الأولياء الأمور وحقوقهم والأطفال. فمعايا 2 كتبوا قانون ومحتاجين مساعدتنا النهاردة ان احنا نساعدهم ان القانون ده يوصل، لان مجرد ما القانون ده اتقبل هيغطي على قوانين الولاية لأولادنا. فأنا هرحب بيهم، وعايزاكم انتوا كمان النهاردة اتفاعلوا معانا. لو عندكم أي أسئلة كلمونا. النهاردة معانا مداخلات كتيرة جدا من ناس مهمة جدا، ناس مهمة جدا هتتصلوا. ما كانش ينفع نطلع كلنا في الاستوديو، فأنا عرضت عليهم ان هم يتصلوا مكالمات تليفونية، وهيتصلوا معانا كونجرسمان هيتصل 2 تقريبا، معانا ناس متقدمة للأسمبلي ممبر، معانا ناس كمان مرشحة نفسها للسكول ديستريكت، دول مهمين قوي. فمعانا ناس كتير النهاردة كمان هتعمل مداخلات. النهاردة حلقة شيقة جدا، واعتقد لأول مرة على تلفزيون عربي الضيوف بتوعي يطلعوا، فأنا مبسوطة جدا وفخورة جدا يعني، ودي بركة ليا أنا شخصيا كمان. Okay, this is my introduction in Arabic. So now I will introduce you in English. Now let's talk in English. So, okay, good evening everyone. And welcome to a new episode from my show called مصدر ثقة, and it's trusted resources. So today I'm honored to have 3 special guests who are huge advocates for parental rights. We are joined by U.S. Senate candidate Eric Early, civil rights attorney Jennifer Kennedy, and attorney and the author of the Protect Kids California initiative, Erin Friday. Thank you all for taking the time to come and inform the Arab community about all your hard work and the fight for parental rights. Thank you for coming today.
Our pleasure. Thank you for having us, Dahlia.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, Eric Early is a husband, a father, attorney, and a son of a Marine, not a career politician. Eric believes that every American should be given the chance to achieve their American dream, and his parents inspired him to achieve his personal goals. Can you introduce yourself to the audience, Eric?
Would you like me to look at you or at the camera?
The camera is for now. When you talk to the audience, look at the camera.
Well, it's great to be here today. Dahlia, thank you so much for having me. It's really an honor to be able to speak to the great Arab Christian community around America. We have so many huge issues that we are dealing with right now, and as you know, I'm running for U.S. Senate from California. Election day is actually Tuesday, and for the primary. And one of my biggest battles that I've been fighting for the longest time is to protect our parents and protect our children, because what's going on in our country right now is really devastating, especially in the blue states. California's a blue state, meaning a majority of Democrats control this state. There is an intentional takeover of really our children's brains in their schools, and it's not a good thing, and it's an agenda, and while our kids' brains are being really just indoctrinated with very bad information, there's a whole movement afoot, especially in states like California, to keep parents in the dark about what's going on with their young children. And this starts at 5 and 6 years old in kindergarten, and it goes all the way up. And it's one of the biggest issues I've been fighting for a long time. So I'll be happy to talk about that today on the show, Dahlia.
Thank you so much, Eric,
Yeah.
for coming in today. طبعا إيريك عرف نفسه، هو واحد من الاثنين المتقدمين عن ولاية كاليفورنيا لليو اس سينت. هو يعني هو مش بتاع منطقة، هو هيكون مسؤول على كل كاليفورنيا، هم اتنين بس بيبقوا مسؤولين في اليو اس سينت. فهو هيبقى يعني ان شاء الله يعني لو نجح هيبقى واحد منهم. وبيقول ان هو قضيته الكبيرة الاطفال واللي بيتعلموه من سن 5 years old and up، واللي بيعلموه في المدارس دي حاجة. وهيحكي لنا بعد كده مواقف، هنعرف دلوقتي حاجات يعني فعلا مشجعة جدا هو عملها كمان، قد ايه هو بيحارب الموضوع ده. فاحنا فعلا محتاجين ناس زيهم كتير. Okay, so now Erin Friday. So Erin is an attorney fighting the gender beliefs that is hurting our kids and families. Okay, Erin, you are the author of the Protect Kids California. So thank you for doing this. So can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Yes, thank you so much for
Thank you.
inviting me on your show. My name's Erin Friday. I am a lifelong Democrat who was unaware of what was happening at our schools. I am an attorney, and now I've become an advocate to protect our kids in California, and in fact to protect our kids across the United States from gender ideology, over-sexualization, and of course to keep parents in the driver's seat so that we get to raise our children in the manner and in the morals that we believe.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. So, I'm sorry. Thank you, Erin. So, Erin هي اللي كتبت القانون، يعني هي يعني هي الليدر اللي كتبت القانون بتاع البوتيشن اللي احنا هنتكلم عنه النهارده. وهي بتقول ان طول عمرها كانت ديمقراط، ومره ما كانتش عارفه ان في يعني في اختلافات كتيره. وهي دلوقتي قضيتها برضو اللي شغلاها قوي الاطفال، وهنعرف منها ليه قصه وليه بتحارب عشان الاطفال، عشان قصتها حلوه جدا جدا كمان. Okay, so Jennifer, yeah, we met before and we had another interview before, and it was great. Thank you for coming again, and thank you for accepting my invitation for the second time. Jennifer Kennedy is a civil rights attorney fighting for freedom from bad laws and restriction on parental rights. Can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Yes, of course. Hi, I'm Jennifer Kennedy. Ahlan, ahlan.
أهلاً أهلاً.
Ahlan, ahlan. You know, COVID blew open a lot of things for parents in the state of California and nationwide. COVID was a terrible time with lockdowns, but what we found, we learned what was going on in the schools with our children. I learned what was going on in our schools with our children. And we learned, unfortunately, that schools for about the last 10 years have been keeping secrets from parents. They've been intentionally concealing information about kids from parents. And this is specifically about kids who are identifying on campus as transgender, or identifying on campus and asking for help to be identified as the opposite sex. This is what's being kept secret from parents. And I've been watching the lawsuits. We had 2 lawsuits arise against 2 school districts, and I began following those. And what we have found is this is a statewide and nationwide problem. So I work with Erin Friday very closely in, number 1, educating the public that this is happening in our schools. Number 2, trying to stop it in the courts. And then number 3, either legislatively or with the Protect Kids California initiative, having the people stop it. So it's really critical, and I'm so glad you're here to learn about how you can protect children with Protect Kids California.
Thank you, Jennifer. So Jennifer بتقول برضو هي محامية متخصصة في المجالات دي، حقوق إنسان يعني، وهي مع إيرين بيفايت عشان أولادنا، وهم كتبوا القانون. وهي هنشرح بعد كده القوانين، مش عايزة أضيع الوقت في الكلام يعني سهل دلوقتي إن احنا نفهمه، عشان بعد كده هيبقى فيه كلام كبير قوي، عايزاكم تركزوا معانا. Okay, Mr. Early. Many people are confused about Congress and the difference between the U.S. Senate and House of Reps. Can you explain the difference?
Sure.
Simple way.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
try and keep it quick, but
Yeah.
in our government in Washington, D.C., you have the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House of Representatives. And in the Senate, you have senators, 2 senators from every state in the country. So California has only 2 U.S. senators. We have a lot of state senators. They go up and they work in Sacramento.
Yes.
I think we have over 30 or 40 of them.
40.
But in the U.S. Senate, there's only 2 from each state.
Yes.
I'm running for one of those positions right now.
Yeah.
And so that's what we have in Washington from the Senate. In the House of Representatives in Washington, there's over 400 representatives. They get elected from all around the country, and they go and they're in the House of Representatives. So you have, the Senate, you have the, it's called the legislative branch of Congress. The
Yeah.
Senate and the House of Representatives are both Congress. And then you have the executive branch, which is the president, and the judiciary, which is the
Court.
House of, or the U.S. Supreme Court.
Yes. So does that mean, like, if he is a House of Rep congressman, he represents an area?
Yeah.
Like, but the other one, two of you, like, hopefully you will be in.
That'd be
we'll
nice.
pray for that. So these 2 represent the whole Californian.
Yes, just two of us would represent all of the state of California, whereas, as you said, with the representatives, the congressmen and women, that's what's in the House of Representatives, the U.S. Congress representatives, they come from different districts all around the state of California.
Right.
And we have a lot of Congress people from California,
Yeah,
probably,
I was just
you know,
looking,
a number of
54
them.
or something.
There are a number of them.
Yeah.
So that's the way it works. And obviously, there's a lot that our elected representatives can do with this issue that we're here talking about today, which is to protect the parents and the children. And unfortunately, really, Erin is amazing because Erin is a Democrat, okay? I'm a
Yeah.
Republican.
Yeah.
Most people in this country right now, it's very hard for Democrats and Republicans to get together on anything. But we see very much eye to eye on this issue of parents and children. I just wish there were more Democrats like Erin that see as clearly on this issue as I believe many Republicans do.
Yes. Yes. So أنا سألت مستر إيريك إنه هو أنا عايز أعرف إيه الحكومة شكلها إيه فوق هناك في واشنطن دي سي، وقال إن في الهاوس اوف ريب ده اللي فيه كل الكونجرسمان أو وومن، وده بيبقى كذا واحد وكل كونجرسمان أو وومن بتمثل منطقة معينة. لكن اليو اس سينت بيبقوا بس هم 2 بيمثلوا كاليفورنيا كلها، مش منطقة معينة. يعني مستر إيرلي ممكن هيمثلنا كلنا لو نجح في الانتخابات دي. ده اللي احنا بننتخب عشانه دلوقتي، وده اللي احنا عايزين نعمله دلوقتي، ان احنا كلنا ننزل ننتخب علشان نوصل صوتنا ونحمي أولادنا. Okay, so Mr. Early, as an attorney, you sued the Santa Barbara School District to protect the children from bad curriculum. Can you tell us about this?
I'll be happy to.
Yeah.
So I run a great law firm, 25 lawyers. We practice all over California and various parts of the country. And one day about 6 years ago, I was just sitting at my desk at my law firm, and I got a call from these brave parents in Santa Barbara, California. And I had never heard of critical race theory at that time, and most Americans, I don't think, had really heard of it at that time. And they said to me, Eric, listen, they're indoctrinating our kids in school. They're teaching our kids to hate America. They're dividing our kids by race, and they're bringing in all of this highly sexualized stuff into the classroom. And we're asking the school district, the Santa Barbara Unified School District, to give us the curriculum materials so that we could see them. And they were being told that they're not entitled to see the materials. So the parents said, Eric, what do? How do we get these materials? So we formed this great group of parents called Fair Education Santa Barbara. Those are my clients. I was the lead lawyer. And we sued the school district up there, and we sued the superintendent, and we sued this group that was doing the indoctrinating. And nobody had ever heard of a lawsuit about this stuff before, and it shocked a lot of people, the things that we're alleging. And the left-leaning media up there went haywire on me and on my brave, parent clients. Of course, we're all a bunch, according to them, we're all a bunch of racists and white supremacists. And because that's what they do to shut you down in this country right now.
Right.
But we're not a group that's going to be shut down by any of those people. And one thing that's always bothered me is being called a racist by a bunch of flat-out racists. Don't like it. Don't like it. Those people are some of the most racist people we've seen in this country in decades. And so I could talk more about the lawsuit and how it went and everything, but I know you probably want to.
But you won, right?
What's that?
You won.
Well, we had a mixed ruling, and I'll tell you about that. But do you want to explain what I just said in
Yes.
Arabic?
Yes.
Because I could go on forever, and so I don't want that.
Thank you.
Okay.
هو طبعا مستر إيرلي بيقول بيقول ان هو رفعوا قضيه من 6 سنين على انهي واحده، سانتا باربرا يونيفايد سكول ديستريكت، علشان كانوا مخبيين على الاولياء الامور، على البيرنتس، مش عايزين يوروهم المناهج، وكانوا بيدرسوا الاولاد في المدرسه، مش عايزين ان هم ياخدوا الكتب يعني معاهم البيت، والبيرنتس مش عارفين هم اولادهم بيدرسوا ايه. فبيقول ان هو كان يعني هو اللي قال لهم انا معاكم وساعدهم، وهو كان من اول الناس رفعوا قضيه على الديستريكت وكسبوا، وطبعا رجع حقوق البيرنتس في المنطقه دي يعني. بس ده طبعا هنتكلم عليه تاني، هو عمل حاجات كتير قوي. انا بس عايزه اوريكم قد ايه الناس دي بتحارب عشان ولادنا وعشاننا، واحنا لازم نعرف ولازم نشارك. عشان كده انا كان كل اللي شاغلني انتوا معانا، انتوا هتحاربوا عشان ولادنا، طب قولوا لنا نعمل ايه وانتوا هتعملوا لنا ايه. فعشان كده انا جايباهم النهارده يفسروا لنا ايه اللي بيحصل. يعني دلوقتي احنا ما كناش نعرف ان سانتا باربرا دي بتدرس الاولاد وما بتديهمش الكتب، ما يعرفوش الاهالي، ما يعرفوش هما بيدرسوا ايه. فهنسمع حاجات كتير، استنوا معانا واسمعوا، هتعرفوا حاجات كتير. اتمنى كل اب وام يتفرج على الحلقه دي، لان انا نفسي سمعت كلام كنت الاول مره اسمعه وما كنتش اعرفه خالص، بيحصل في المدارس مع اولادنا واحنا مش عارفين. Okay, Eric, yeah.
So I can tell you how the lawsuit went, basically.
Yes.
We were successful in that after a strong fight, we were able to get for the parents the curriculum materials from the school district. The court ordered that. And we were all stunned when we saw this stuff because none of us had ever seen this stuff before. You know, I remember this one chart in particular, which is now the kind of stuff we see all over. You know, all white people are oppressors. All brown people are victims. Christianity is a myth. America is occupier, colonizer, oppressor. And this sexual stuff that was just shouldn't be there.
Curriculum?
What's that?
It was in
the curriculum.
Oh.
And so somebody in our team knew President Trump's education secretary at that time, who was named Betsy DeVos. So she got the materials to Betsy DeVos, and Betsy DeVos got it to President Trump, and is one of the things that started opening the doors for all this stuff. But, you know, there were a lot of eye-openers on that case. For example, we were up there in Santa Barbara suing, okay? You'd think it would be focused on Santa Barbara. We sued this group that was leading the indoctrination called Just Community Central Coast. You would think it was a little organization, a nonprofit, not her. The lawyers that showed up to represent Just Community Central Coast were flown in from Washington, D.C.
Wow.
from a law firm called Perkins Coie. Perkins Coie was the Hillary Clinton law firm that led, the Russia hoax. They are highly involved with the entire far left effort to steal our children's brains in schools. And they were flown in to represent their clients in Santa Barbara. In other words, they're incredibly well organized. They've been keeping track of this stuff for the longest time, and they know what they're doing. So the ultimate ruling in the case was a mixed bag. We were able to get the materials, which was a coup, a victory. But we're never able to get a judgment against the school district for really racism. They were violating our nation's constitution. And the reason is you need evidence to win. And, you know, confidentially, parents and children were telling us all these terrible things are going on in their classes. But they wanted to be kept completely confidential because they're afraid of the repercussions they were going to get from their school and their neighbors and everything else, and we couldn't disclose their names. And this was, especially then 6 years ago when it was really bad, you couldn't open your mouth on this stuff. It's hard to do it now. So without that evidence, we couldn't have gone forward and prevailed on the entire lawsuit. But getting the materials alone.
It's a victory.
Yeah.
Thank you. And now, what's going on in San Diego?
Well, San Diego is, let me tell you what's going on in our state generally. And,
Yes.
you know, these two women are experts on this subject. So I'll start it, but they should probably get on.
They will continue, yes.
But, you know, I've been calling these we the people moments in our state.
Correct.
You have a state government all the way up to this Gavin Newsom. And then the person I call his lapdog, which is our Attorney General, a guy named Rob Bonta, who should probably be, okay, a guy named Rob Bonta. And they have, and then the Department of Education in California. And they're intentionally instructing teachers and school administrators all over the state, don't tell parents if these little kids starting at 5 and 6 years old going through school come up and say they want to change their, from, you know, let's say a girl shows up, a teacher, 7 years old, says, listen, I know I was born a girl, but I want you to call me a he. Okay, a boy shows up at 10 years old, no, call me a she. And they're being instructed not to tell the parents that this is going on.
Yes.
And so that has caused what I call these we the people moments. We've had these great conservative controlled school boards in various parts of California. They get elected, the school boards, by the people. And several great school boards, Chino Valley, Temecula, Orange, Murrieta, Rockland, et cetera, and these guys are the experts on it. They're allowed to tell the teachers and say, tell them what they can and can't do on these things. And they sent guidelines. They said, you cannot keep the parents in the dark about this stuff.
Yes.
And what ended up happening? The state government, all the way up to the governor, filed a lawsuit against Chino Valley for doing that. And I'll let the experts explain to you more about what happened there. But these are brave people, and these are parents who are driving this bus. And then we have our state government here who are doing everything they can to keep the parents back in the dark about this stuff. And we're talking about little kids. They're little kids. They don't want the parents to know what's going on with their little kids.
Yeah, we had Sonia Shaw in the show.
Well, there you go. She's one of the leaders.
And she's so brave
And let me step back a little bit, okay? I hope I'm not talking too much because I know
you're good.
a lot of your audience may not understand my language, but the real huge problem is our children, starting at the youngest ages, are walking into indoctrination camps. They're innocent. They don't know anything about sex.
Right.
But the teachers and the California Teachers Association and the highest levels of government in the state of California are leading a full-on indoctrination, sexualization of these children when they get into school. They teach them things like, doesn't matter if you're born a boy or a girl, you could be anything you want to be.
Right.
And this stuff is in their curriculum and in their books. And so we're seeing more and more of these young kids getting totally confused.
Yeah.
And then when they get confused, and the first people who should be involved should be their parents.
Their parents.
And then you have the same people who are doing the full-on indoctrination of their brains saying, your parents won't know about this, and being instructed not to tell the parents. And that's flat out evil. Everything about it is evil. The indoctrination, the confusing of kids about their sexuality, and then the intentional failure to keep parents in the dark.
Yes. طبعا انا هلخص بسرعه اللي قاله مستر ايرلي، ان هو بيقول اللي بيحصل في المدرسه دلوقتي ده ان هم بيقنعوا الاطفال من هم صغيرين خالص ان هم انت مش لازم تكون، يعني مش شرط عشان ما اتولدت ولد او اتولدتي بنت ان انت تبقي كده، انت ممكن تغيري ومش هنقول لبابا يعني للبيرنتس بتوعك وما تخافوش مش هيحصل حاجه. وبيقول كميه، طبعا هو بيتكلم طبعا على ازاي ان لما بتقف زي ما جبنا سونيا شاء قبل كده وفي تمكلا وفي كذا ديستريكت وقفوا وقالوا لا احنا هنعرف الاهالي. طبعا كل دول اتقدم ضدهم قضايا كبيره ولسه لغايه النهارده بيعانوا. وهي سونيا كانت المفروض تبقى معانا النهارده بس معلش مش يعني احنا كتير دلوقتي 3 4 فهتيجي معانا مره تانية. بس يعني هو اللي بيقوله طبعا مستر ايرلي ان احنا لازم نقف، دي وقت وي ذا بيبل، يعني لازم نقف، احنا لازم نقف لاولادنا، دول اولادنا. وهم بيحاولوا، بيقول حتى يعني هو اتفاجئ ان هو لما رفع القضيه على سانتا باربرا يونيفايد سكول ديستريكت لقى اللي جايين يدافعوا عنهم من واشنطن دي سي، يعني حتى مش من كاليفورنيا. يعني اللي هو عايز يقوله ان ده مخطط، فاحنا لازم نقف عشان نحمي اولادنا، لازم نعمل اي حاجه عشان نحمي اولادنا. فهو يعني الغرض النهارده ان احنا نعرف ايه اللي نعمله وايه اللي بيحصل لاولادنا واحنا مش عارفينه. يعني هم دلوقتي هيكلمونا الكلام ده ومعاهم كمان المناهج اللي هيوروها لنا دلوقتي اللي اولادنا بيدرسوها في المدارس واحنا ما نعرفش عنها حاجه. Okay, so now I will move to you, Erin. So I know you all about protecting kids, and you have 2 books now you want to talk about. So can you tell me first what inspired you to fight for that?
So
If you want to say, you want to say the story?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay,
oh, no,
go
of
ahead.
course. I talk about it all the time.
Okay.
Because I want parents to know. I want them to know what I didn't know, which
Yes.
was exactly what Eric was saying, is the school was indoctrinating my child. And it worked. So my child was in 7th grade, and she was taught that she could be born in the wrong body, that she could change sex, that she could have a male brain with a female body. And she believed them because the two most important people in a child's life are their parents and then their teachers. And they are getting this indoctrination over and over. It's not just in sex ed classes. It's in almost every class at the school. They're being pushed. You could be a boy even though you have a girl body, or vice versa. Or you could be non-binary. You're not any sex. Or you could be a demi-boy, whatever that means. And so these kids are being taught this. And, you know, to tie the CRT aspect of this, kids who are now being told that they're oppressors, that they are awful people, they want to jump into the victim status. They want to be the oppressed as opposed to the oppressor. The only way to move into that category, if you happen to be a white child, is to say that you are transgender. That automatically puts you into the oppressed category. So all these kids did this jump. And once they do that jump, then the teachers laud them. They celebrate these kids.
Wow.
My daughter was celebrated as a trans kid.
How old was she?
So she started at 12 years old in the sex ed, or 11 or 12, and she went down the alphabet. So first she said she was pansexual. Think about that for one second.
She was what? I'm sorry.
Pansexual. So that means you are attracted, you want to have sexual relations with anyone and everyone. She is 11.
My God.
Okay? Then they move along. She moved along to lesbian, non-binary, and then lands on trans. And that's kind of what happens with the kids. They just keep moving up on the scale. And so when
Excuse me, Erin.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, how did you know about it?
Well, I knew about it because...
I just want every parents to know how they can watch their kids.
So this is the crazy part. It was COVID, and like Jennifer said, COVID had a silver lining in that my daughter went to school down the hall from me, and I could hear the teachers calling her a male name and using male pronouns. And so I could hear, what is going on? Why are these teachers calling my daughter a different name? Now, I didn't know that I would be called names or that I was being brave. I called that school, and I laid into them really vociferously. I was irate because the first thing I gave my daughter was my body. And the second thing I gave her was her name. And the school took it. And they didn't call me. And then when I called them, they told me I was unsafe.
Oh my God.
Unsafe. My daughter's down the hallway. The police came to my house. Child Protective Services came to my house. And that's when the world exploded, when my eyes opened to what they are doing to our children in our public schools and private schools, mind you, and Catholic schools. It's everywhere.
So it's not only in public schools.
That's correct.
Wow.
That's correct. Even my public school, my daughter's private school, because I pulled her from the public school, they called her a male name. And this was a Catholic school. A priest told me, essentially, do I want to have a dead daughter or a live son?
That's their line that they
Yeah.
use every time.
They threatened,
Yes.
they threatened suicide. And so that was when I just started reading. I used my critical brain, and I read everything that I could find, and I started to investigate, and I poured over the school curriculum, because they did actually give it to me, so thanks to you, Eric. And I learned that this is a really cute book. I Am Jazz. It's great illustrations. It's made for little children, and it all
Kindergarten, right?
yeah, kindergarten, 4-year-olds. 4-year-olds, so TK, and it has a little boy who happened to like pink. This little boy also liked fairies and liked to dance, and so he must be a girl.
Oh.
That was the conclusion. This is Jazz Jennings. We watched Jazz Jennings turn from a little boy body into some, fake woman body, on national TV. This is indoctrination. So this book tells little kids they can jump out of their sex, which is just not true. Do you,
I want to explain. Yes. So زي ما سمعنا من إيرين، هي عرفت في وقت الكوفيد، أنا هعملها باختصار، هترجمها باختصار. في وقت الكوفيد ابتدت تسمع إن المدرسين بينادوا بنتها في الكلاسز، لأن كانت زوم طبعا وقت كوفيد، فابتدت تسمعهم بينادوها باسم ولد وهي بنتها عندها 11 سنة. فسألت ليه كده، فقالوا لا، بنتك هي عايزة تغير يعني وتبقى ولد، ولو انت كنتي انسيف هناخدها. وفعلا بتقولي البوليس جالها والكلام ده، بس هي حاربت جامد جدا جدا. وهي على فكرة بنتها رجعت دلوقتي بنت حلوة خالص وجميلة، انا شفت صورتها. وكمان بتقول ان هي ابتدت بعد كده زي كمحامية بقى تبص على الماتيريال بتاعت المدارس، وفلقت الكتب اللي معاها دي. في كتاب تاني مهم جدا غير ده بتاع طفل عنده 4 سنين اللي احنا شفناه أم جاز ده، بس في كتاب تاني انا عايزه برضو كي تتكلم عليه، وخدوا بالكم كويس قوي، لو يعني تاخدوا بالكم ولادكم بيقروا ايه في المدرسه. Okay, so Erin, what is the other book you have?
So this is a book that our Governor Newsom, Rob Bonta, and Tony Thurmond wants to stay at our schools' libraries.
Bonta's the Attorney General,
Bonta, yes.
and Thurmond is in charge of education.
It's fine. We don't have to say names.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, and so this book is found in 5th grade, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and high school libraries. It's called This Book is Gay, and inside it, and it's written with little cartoons, to appeal to the kids, and inside it, it instructs young children how to find a stranger and lover online. How to upload your picture, what to say, and then once you find that adult lover, what kind of activities you should engage in and what kind of materials you should bring. Now, this book is referenced by our governor in one of his letters where he talks about book bans. And he claims that parents are being bigots and hateful and racist because we don't want a book like this. And this is one of many.
And it's there already. This book is there.
Oh, it's there. And there's, you can't read what this book says out loud in a school board meeting. They will shut you down. They will silence it.
But this is not in the curriculum. It's in the library, right?
It's in the library, and any child can check it out. And, there's a lot of indoctrinating teachers who keep it on their bookshelf so that it's right in the classroom for children to take.
And looks so nice book.
Yeah.
I just want to, and I want to be clear about something. I think these women probably agree with me, but they certainly can say, we don't have anything against somebody who's gay or transgender or something.
Yes.
Just stay the heck away from our kids.
Right.
Leave our children alone.
Alone, yes.
Leave our children alone. Don't take kids starting at 4 years old and going to kindergarten and elementary school and middle school and high school and do a full court press intentionally with all the powers of the government behind you on their brains to purposely turn them into something that they simply are not. Leave our kids alone. That is not what school is for. And thankfully, there are several states in this country that have governments that are doing everything they can to protect our children and our parents. But certainly, that's not the case in California, just the opposite.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
No, go ahead.
Well, I'd like to add to that because the Protect Kids California ballot initiative isn't just about protecting kids from the school secrets. It's also about protecting girls and women from men who believe that they are women from coming into our spaces.
Yep.
And that's what you wrote in the petition.
Yes, exactly. So I don't want a man in my bathroom
Yeah.
or changing area.
Let's talk about this when we talk about the petition, because this is really important. But I will go back, Jennifer, I want you to talk, but I have a question to Mr. Early. I'm curious, what is the reason? Why is he want to take over our kids?
Well, I wish I could put myself in their brains. I don't know the
Yeah.
reason. All I know is that our California Teachers Association right now and our governor and our attorney general are full-on supporters of this indoctrination that's going on, this sexualizing of our children, and really separating our children's brain from our parents. And whenever it gets too hot and the news starts focusing on this stuff too much, really they all go underground because they want to keep all parents in the dark about what's really going on with
Right.
their children in this state. And thank God we have people like Erin and Jennifer and other great people in this country from all parties, frankly.
Yes.
Political parties who are figuring this stuff out and doing everything they can, because at the end of the day, this is about protecting our youngest kids
Yeah.
and their brains from evil people that, for whatever their reason is, they are all about just dominating and taking over their kids' brains. And to people like me, that is flat out evil. That's just evil.
Right. Yes.
So I'd like to expand on that and talk about the why.
Good,
Because I
please do
do
it.
know the why.
Okay.
I spend a lot of time investigating the why. So
I
the
want to know why.
money.
Okay. It's all
And
about money.
It's always about money, and it's about sex. The money aspect is really easy for people to grasp. Each child who is convinced that they are transgender is worth about $1 million to the medical community.
Right.
They are perpetual medical patients. They are on drugs, surgeries. Girls who are placed on testosterone eventually have to have their uteruses removed. It's perpetual. And even if they detransition, they are still medical patients feeding the machine. But it gets bigger than that. California passed a bill last year called Assembly Bill 665.
Yes.
This bill allows 12-year-olds to leave their families' homes for no reason. There doesn't need to be abuse, sexual abuse, suicidality, harm to others. They can just leave, and then they go into either the foster care system or into these residential facilities. So that's where more money is being made off of these kids who think that they are transgender. They
Yes.
take the child, they move them to a facility. These facilities get paid $10,000 to $14,000 a month per child. There's money to be made there. Then there's more money to be made because
course.
those facilities are unlocked. And those children are then trafficked.
Yeah.
And they become the drug addicts we see all over our cities, the young kids who are being trafficked all over our cities. This is the revolving door.
Let
This
me
is
ask you another question,
where it
though, Erin.
works.
In addition to money, why do we have these legislators in the state of California and this Tony Thurman and everybody else wanting to keep parents in the dark about this stuff? What are you finding
It's
about
still
that?
the money.
It's still the money.
Because they are legislating. They are the ones who are creating this system where they're going to create these group homes, they're going to hire the people to fill the group homes, and they're going to create the kids that come in to be in those group homes. And in fact, AB 665, this is going to be the pathway for AB 665, that's going to be the pathway to have these children leave home and flip it, actually. On AB 665, it definitely allows a child to leave home, but what it allows someone to do, it allows an adult to remove that child and check that child into a residential shelter.
And they leave home, why? Because they're saying their parents don't understand
why,
them.
yeah.
And even though I was born a boy, I'm really a girl.
No.
My parents want me to still be a boy, so I want to leave the house.
Guess
Is
what,
that the
Eric?
story?
It's every child. It's the impetuous child who is angry that mom took away his or her cell phone. It is the child who just doesn't feel happy at home because my dad is such a buzzkill. It is any child is at risk, and they go to school and they talk to the counselor, and for whatever reason, the counselor says, do you not feel safe at home? Would you like to cool off for the weekend at this group home down the street? It's pretty cool, and you can keep your phone there. And the kid goes. And once that kid goes into that juvenile facility, that home, right, where the adult is there to check in this minor without parental consent, that's when the problem begins. Because now the child has been really removed from the parent's physical custody and they aren't told. That's the big problem with AB 665. The minor and some random adult get to take the minor away from his parents. What Erin said earlier is really important. In California law, for the last 45 years, we've had a law called Family Code 6924. That's the law that allowed minors in certain situations to consent to two things: counseling without parental consent because they need counseling, or to go into residential shelter, again without parental consent, but only when there's danger to the child. That code said minors typically can't do things on their own, they can't make decisions on their own, but in the case of danger to a child, and this means suicidality, a child is a danger to him or herself, or there's danger at home, and the child faces incest or abuse or other danger at home, that's when we're going to let minors make these decisions. That was the old law. That's what we call the danger guardrails. That was the custody protection that stopped the state from taking a child out of a parent's home. That's exactly what AB 665 took away. It erased 45 years of those custody protections that would keep a child in the custody of parents until there was some showing of abuse or neglect.
And then you add to it. You add to the fact that a parent who is in a divorce situation where one parent affirms the gender identity of a child and the other parent says, no, I believe in biological reality. I want my child to grow up with all of her body parts intact, with her natural body. The courts in California pretty much 100% will award that child to the parent who is going to subject the child to irreversible puberty blockers.
But this bill is vetoed?
That bill did not pass.
Okay, good.
But
This is the only one.
No, but that has already been going on in our court systems. So
Again?
for the last 10 years, the family court judges have already been doing what AB 957 wanted to do, even though we stopped it. The trick behind AB 957, which I'm ashamed that none of our lawmakers and on either aisle knew this. AB 957 was the gateway to find parents like me to be child abusers for not transitioning our kids. That's what that bill actually was. That bill right now, that very same one, is being proposed in Illinois. And so what the government wants to do, where they are going, is they want it to be child abuse, not to harm your child with cross-sex hormones, puberty blockers, and surgeries. That's where we are in America, and that's why there
That's
is...
so sad.
Yes, it's so sad, and that's why we need to rise up now.
Yes. I will
Go ahead,
get
go
back
ahead.
to you, but هم طبعا اتكلموا دلوقتي معانا عن القوانين اللي احنا اتكلمنا عليها قبل كده، اللي هي القانون اللي توافق عليه ان الطفل من سن 12 سنة ممكن يمشي من غير ما يكون في اي سبب ان هو يسيب البيت، يعني هو يقول انا عايز امشي هياخدوه خلاص. فانا كنت سالت مستر ايرلي وسالت طبعا برضك مسز فرايداي، هو طب ايه السبب انا عايزه، انا نفسي عندي السؤال ده، هم ليه بيعملوا كده؟ فطبعا اتقال دلوقتي انه كله عشان الفلوس، لان هي فلوس. لما الولد يحول، ما دي ميديكال اكسبنس، ولو جابوا فوستر هوم بيدفعوا له فلوس، لو جابوا ناس تشتغل بيدفعوا فلوس، فهي كده دايره فلوس مصالح يعني. ده معناه ان مفيش حد مهتم بالاولاد، يعني هم مش باصين لمصلحه الولاد، طبعا هم بياخدوها بالشكل ده، ان انت دلوقتي لازم تعمل سبورت لابنك. وبيقولوا يعني، هي قالت كلمه اثرت فيا جدا على بنتها، قال لها الباستر صاحب اللي هو مدير المدرسه اللي بنتها فيها، لانها مدرسه خاصه، قال لها هل عايزه تبقى عندك بنت تنتحر يعني ميته، ولا يبقى عندك ولد وعايش؟ يعني سيبيها تحول من الاخر، يعني احسن لك ان بنتك تحول وتبقى معاكي. فهي طبعا ما رضيتش بالكلام ده. فانا طبعا احنا اتكلمنا، هم اتكلموا كتير قوي، مش هقدر اترجم كل الكلام ده، بس هو ما معناه ان هم فعلا عايزين يفهمونا قد ايه في حاجات خطر بتحصل معانا ومع اولادنا ومعانا احنا كمان وضدنا احنا كمان، وهم عايزين كلنا نقف. بيقولوا لكم ده الوقت اللي احنا لازم نقف فيه، ده الوقت. We have a phone call from okay, Sarah Stevens.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Sarah. Sarah. Sarah Stevens. She is the founder of Make California Gold Again, and she is supporting the petition, and she is the one who leads March 16 events.
That's right.
Yeah. Sarah, are you still here?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, nice to be with you today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for calling. And yes, like, we want to know about your event, March 16. Tell us, like, about it now.
Yes. So on Saturday, March 16th, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., we're holding a huge event that is free to the public, and it's going to be at, yeah, they're calling me, sorry. It's from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Glory Church in downtown Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. And this event about what?
And this event is going to feature pastors and motivational speakers and people that are talking about how to take a stand for the children of California.
Wow.
So we actually have Erin Friday is going to be speaking, and we have over 25 organizations involved with this. And we have people that are coming from all different walks of life, but we are mostly gathering together pastors, leaders, Christians, and from all different ethnic communities. So far we have the Chinese community involved, the Korean, the Armenian, the Black community, and we're really excited about the multicultural ethnic groups coming together to take a stand for the children.
Oh, thank you so much for doing this. And is that will be like a praying day? And like, how is the day will go? Like, is it a
Yes.
praying
So-
day?
Yes. So the doors are going to open at 1:30 in the afternoon, and an hour before, we're going to pray with all of the leaders and all the Christians that are running for office and all of the people that are involved. We're going to pray an hour before the event, and at 2 o'clock is when the event is going to start, and we're going to have a multicultural worship, Christian music all together, and we're going to have some people share their stories, and then we're going to have speakers, and we have a big call to action. And the call to action is to really have not only everyone sign the petition, but to have people to go out and to get more signatures so that we have more than enough for to get this on the ballot. And another reason why we're doing this is not only to save the children of California, but it's also that conservatives can come together and unite and get organized. And we truly believe that if we can organize, this is how we will take back California.
Okay, so your group is fighting for our kids too.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
What are you doing to fight for our kids? Can I ask you this question?
Yes.
How are you fighting? Like, I want to know how
Yes.
you're doing it. So maybe we
Yes.
can do the same here in our Arabic community. We hope.
Yes.
Yes. So how is your group fighting for our kids?
Yes. Well, one of the first things we're doing right now is we're helping with this petition. We're educating and informing parents, pastors, leaders, because what is really happening in California is that a lot of Christians, a lot of leaders, a lot of parents are completely in the dark. They have no idea what is really happening, and they have no idea what is going on behind the scenes and the fate of what is going to happen to these children if we don't understand and we don't actually do something. So what we're doing is we're actually working with all these organizations right now that are exposing all of the darkness.
Yeah.
So we're working with organizations like Moms on the Ground that have all of the proof of all of the contracts that show how the high schools are contracted out with the hospitals. And this is a multi-million, multi-billion-dollar industry that they are embarking on to destroy our next generation. And so we have to expose them and we have to put them out of business. And the only way we can do that is if we can inform the parents and motivate and inspire them to believe that anything is possible, and that working together we can stand up for the children, like getting this petition, getting it on the ballot, and having it passed in November so that we can have this signed into law so that not one more child can have a surgery done on their body.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for organizing such a wonderful event. Thank you so much, Sarah. God bless you.
Thank you. And thank you. And I was going to tell you, if anyone wants to find the flyer and come to the event, they can go to timetostand.org. So that's timetostand.org.
Yes.
And they can find the flyer. We have all the information on there. We have over 15 speakers. And I promise everyone this is going to be a life-changing event. And the Cross TV is going to be there. We have the biggest Korean network in the world. We have some of the top Vietnamese networks and Chinese networks. So please, I encourage anyone in Southern California, even we have people flying from Fresno, to come to this event and be a part of making history in California.
Oh, thank you so much, Sarah. We'll put the link to in the comments so everyone will know about the event. And this is a big event, so we will share it for you. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And we can have up to 7,000 people. So don't be afraid. We're going to have enough seats for everybody.
I'm barking.
And we're really excited. And we have enough parking.
7,000 people. God bless you. God bless you. And thank you for fighting for our kids, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you too. So, I will take another phone quickly because she said she has a meeting. She needs to go. Tracy Schroeder. She is a Team Jesus Christ and school teacher running for State Assembly in AD District 46. Hi, Tracy. How are you?
Hi, Dahlia. Thank you so much for having us on tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we wish you're here with us. But yes.
We do too.
Yeah, Tracy, you're running for Assembly member? For what district?
Yes. This is District 46. It's in the San Fernando Valley of Los Angeles. It goes everywhere from Van Nuys all the way across the valley through Woodland Hills, Canoga Park, Chatsworth, Encino, Tarzana, all the way to Fallbrook and even into Ventura County with Bell Canyon.
Oh, great. So, okay, because I know you're in a hurry, you have a meeting at 7. So, Tracy, if you win, and you are now Assembly member, how you will fight for our kids? What you will do for our kids? This is what I really want to know.
The most important thing is protecting these kids, and our state Senate and state assembly, which is where I'm heading, is with everyone's help and support and vote, is we need to nullify these bad bills that are robbing our girls of their sport, that are robbing parents of knowing what's going on with their children and knowing how to help them, that's blocking parents from knowing their child's medical situations. What's going on is ridiculous. So what we need is every single assembly seat split. We need to get a new majority on because we need to have enough members to be able to bring new bills and to gut these. But we'll start with the referendum because this needs to be exposed to the constituents. And so we've got to do it. And I'll add one more thing, because jurisdiction on these bad bills is the state assembly and state senate. Everyone has got to vote for someone who has an R by their name, because we're the ones who are coming against the majority. And then on that note, school board has jurisdiction over the kids. And so I put in the chat on Facebook 3 names to look out for on people's ballots across Los Angeles, including in the North Valley, Raquel Vialta for school board, who I think will be calling in later, including Rena Chambor, school board District 1, who I believe is also calling in, as well as in South Los Angeles, Lydia Gutierrez. We can win this with everyone's help.
Yeah.
We've
Thank you
got to
so
protect these
much,
kids.
Tracy. I really appreciate
You know,
it.
it says in the Bible, it is better for a millstone to be tied around our necks and to be thrown into the pit of the sea than to allow these horrible things to happen against these innocent little children and their parents.
Amen. Thank you so much,
Thank
Tracy.
you so much.
Thank
God bless
you.
you guys.
Thank you for fighting for our kids, and good luck in the next election. Thank you.
Thank you, Dahlia.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, okay. Okay.
Well, you know what? I want to just get back into what we were talking about before. You know, when you were talking about why are they doing this?
Yeah.
Why are they doing this to our kids' heads? Why are they doing this to the parents?
Exactly.
And, you know, Erin and Jennifer talking about the money issue, because there's billions at stake.
Of course.
But I also go with what a lot of people that I follow and I believe as well. Listen, if you study history, when the Marxists were taking over Russia with the Bolsheviks, and were taking over China with the Mao forces, one of their prime goals, and they were very successful and fortunate, was the destruction of the nuclear family, turning children against their parents.
Yes.
Okay?
Destroying family.
Destroying the family as part of this Marxist effort to take over a country. And there is no doubt in my mind that one of the reasons that's fueling these people to separate children from their parents, it's part of an ongoing socialist Marxist effort that's growing and gathering within our own country right now, within our own borders. They're doing whatever they can to help destroy the family,
Yes.
the nuclear family unit.
Yes.
So when you hear stories about how we have laws in California now that have been made much easier to allow a child at 12 years old to turn on their family, that's all part and parcel with the same thing. So it is a money thing. It is a political situation. There is a war on the nuclear family in this country, and people like us are all about protecting the family unit.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we're up against very powerful people that are all about destroying the family unit.
Right, right. So مستر إيريك بيقول إن كمان مش بس عن الفلوس، ده كمان إن هم البلان بتاعهم إن هم يدمروا الفاميلي، هو ده اللي هم عايزينه، علشان يعني الأولاد ما يسمعوش كلام أهلهم، الأهل ما يعرفوش حاجة عن الأولاد، فدي كلها خطط. وهو بيقول طبعا دي خطط شيطانية، طبعا هم قالوا من الأول إن ده حاجات من ايفل، وإحنا محتاجين إن إحنا نقف للكلام ده عشان خاطر أولادنا والأجيال اللي جاية. دلوقتي أنا بس يعني عشان الوقت ابتدى يسرقنا فعلا، بس عايزين Raquel, okay. We have a phone call. Okay, so Raquel?
Yes, hello, this is Raquel Vialta.
Oh, Raquel is a candidate for LAU's SD school board, right? You're running
Yes,
for a school
thank you.
board, right? Yes. Hi, Raquel.
Yes, I'm running for school
Yeah.
board. Hi, Dahlia. Thank you so much for having me. So
Thank
I'm
you.
running for school board in the San Fernando Valley. And like it was mentioned earlier, right, we're just tired of seeing these Marxist ideologies in our schools. And so I'm a parent. I have children in LUSD. I also used to work with LUSD. I was a teacher for a long time, and I've seen the changes in the curriculum, and I see the attack on our children. And so we want to bring an end to that, right? We want to make sure our kids are getting a real education based on academics. And so that's obviously very important to us, right? We know right now we're currently seeing things in our curriculum that's going against God against the family, and we're seeing that war on the nuclear family, like was mentioned earlier. And so as a parent and as a teacher that loves education and loves kids, I want to put an end to that. And so that's why I'm running.
Oh, thank you, and God bless you, and good luck in the election. And we really need a lot of people like you, Raquel, in the school district board. We really need like people knows like God and fighting for our kids. Thank you so much, Raquel.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me, Dolly. God bless.
Thank you. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
So راكل هي مترشحة عن السكول بورد بتاعت LA لوس أنجلوس، وهي بتقول برضو ان هي مش موافقة على كل اللي بيحصل للأطفال، وهي عايزة تحارب عننا. وطبعا لو كان عندنا ناس زي الناس دي في الحكومة يعني وفي المدارس، ده هينفع جامد قوي ويحمي ولادنا من حاجات كتير. احنا فعلا محتاجين ناس يكون عندها ضمير تبص لمصلحة ولادنا مش لمصلحتهم هم الشخصية. So, okay, Jennifer, I want to ask you about the petition now.
Okay.
So, both of you, of course. But I will start with you. Like who bring up this idea? You want to,
Sure.
you want to create a petition, and how that came, to the light?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as usual, much of it started with Erin Friday, right? Here's the thing. Number one, I want to back up for 2 seconds and say, everyone running for office, this is fantastic. We
Yes.
need to see grassroots
Yes.
people coming out and seeking office. But everyone in this audience can help.
Of course.
And that's why we need everyone.
And that's why we're here today.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Because we can help tell you what you can do from home or in your own community to help this same effort. And of course, that's the petition at www.protectkidsca.com.
Yeah,
The
we put it everywhere.
Yes, the
Yeah.
petition came about because here's how the timeline went. COVID broke open the schools. We found out about this parent secrecy. We said, let's stop it. So Erin wrote a wonderful bill called AB 1314 that was going to be in the legislature. It was going to require the schools.
1314?
AB 1314.
Yeah.
It was going to require the schools to notify the parents if the children were asking to be treated as the opposite gender. But our Democrat-controlled legislature refused to even give it a hearing. That means they refused to even let the people's representatives debate it. Up in the Sacramento, in the Capitol, they just killed it. They paused it. It was dead for the session. So we pivoted, and we said, you know what? If they're not going to do it in the legislature, we will take it to the school boards. Okay. So we wrote a measure for the school boards, and those are the parent notification policies that Chino, Temecula, Murrieta, Orange, Roseville, those are the ones that they have enacted.
Did you write?
Yeah.
And that's but that's just a handful of boards. Now we've moved on to the petition. And the petition is the grassroots people saying, this is what we the people want to have on the ballot, because legislature, if you're not going to do it, we'll do it.
Okay. So can you reintroduce
Yes.
the petition?
The petition itself. Okay.
From scratch.
From scratch.
What you're doing.
Yes.
And I think the director will get this petition on the screen.
Okay.
And we can go even page by page if you want. He will go with us. He will get the petition in the screen
It's
for us
really
now.
fine print, so it might be hard to see. But
Yeah.
here's the thing about the petition. It does 3 things. We're going to protect, respect, and reject.
Okay.
Number 1, we're going to protect our girls and women in their sports and in their spaces. We're going to get the males off their sports teams and out of the showers and the bathrooms and the locker rooms. Because what we're seeing, and you see this on TV, you see it on social media, the boys are not only pushing the girls down on the ground and knocking their teeth out, they're pushing the girls out of opportunities. They're taking the titles, they're taking scholarships, they're taking places that girls should have on their sports team and in their competitive arenas. So we're going to protect girls in this state.
So
we're
it's
gonna,
3 parts.
3 parts, that's protect. Number 2,
protect.
respect. We're going to respect
Respect.
the parents' rights to know. We're going to respect that parents are supposed to be partners in the education with their children, and they, of all people, have the right to know what's happening with their child on campus. No more school secrets, no more lying. We're going to take down the notion in the state of California that parent secrecy is supposed to be the law of the land. We're going to stop that. The final one is we're going to reject the barbaric, sterilizing, and mutilating interventions that are being done on children in this state. And we're talking about the drugs, the puberty blockers, the cross-sex hormones, and the mutilating surgeries that are removing healthy body parts and absolutely ruining the God-given body of children. Children are precious as they are, no scalpels needed. Children need to be allowed to make it through puberty healthy and whole, make it to adulthood so they can decide for themselves what they do with their lives.
Yeah.
Children can't consent to those, and even if a parent consents to that surgery, we want to end it in the state of California. Here's why it matters. We've
Let me
seen...
explain
go ahead.
this part first.
Yep.
So زي ما جينيفر قالت هما 3 parts. protect, respect, reject. protect ان احنا نحمي بناتنا ان هم ما يتعرضوش ان الولاد اللي بيقولوا على نفسهم بنات يستخدموا مثلا الحمامات بتاعتهم، الليكر بتاع التشنج الكلوز بيغيروا في ملابسهم، السبورتس بتاعتهم. فعايزين نحمي البنات من الولاد اللي بيقولوا على نفسهم بنات وبيدخلوا الحمامات معاهم وبيدخلوا اوض تغيير الملابس معاهم. تاني حاجه ريسبكت مين؟ اولياء الامور. احنا لازم نعرف كل حاجه عن اولادنا. ثالث حاجه ريجكت ايه بقى؟ ريجكت العمليات اللي هتحصل في اولادنا من غير ما ياخدوا اذننا، لان احنا عرفنا القوانين دي طلعت اوريدي. ممكن ياخدوا هرمونات، ممكن يعملوا عمليات يقطعوا اعضاء من جسم اولادنا من غير ما يرجعوا لنا. ازاي هي زي ما جينيفر بتقول، ازاي طفل عنده 12 سنه ياخد قرارات مصيريه زي كده؟ فهو ده البيتيشن بيتكلم عنه، وهنشوف البيتيشن دلوقتي وازاي نملاه. بس احنا معانا we have a phone call from جيهان توماس. She's a lawyer, Egyptian lawyer. She is attorney. She is immigration attorney, and she has her own show in our channel too. Okay, جيهان.
اوكي داليا، اول حاجه عايزه اهنئك على الحلقه دي بالذات. الحلقه شيقه جدا وبيشمل موضوع هام جدا للبيرنتس، لان في حاجات فعلا بتحصل في المدارس. البيرنتس have to be aware of it. And I'm happy that you're bringing all these guests to bring awareness to the entire Arab community, so they all be aware, informed, so they can make a decision and join in the petition. عشان it's a very important topic لأي شخص عنده عيال داخل ولاية كاليفورنيا. فبهنئك على حلقة وبشكرك على الضيوف الممتازين اللي انت جبتيهم for the Arab community، ان هم يفهموا ويقدروا ويوعوهم وينصحوهم. because they need guidance. فأنا حبيت أتكلم بالعربي لأن طبعا الناس كلها بتفهم عربي أكتر. But I want to thank all the guests and tell them it's great that they came in on the show, and we have a lot of viewers and it's spread all over California, and it's great that they brought awareness for the topic of the issue about parental rights, and it's a very important topic that everybody should hear, learn, guide, and act. Okay, and good luck يا داليا.
Thank you so much جيهان. Thank you. شكرا على تشجيعك
ودايما ضيوفك بموضوعات شيقة جدا، وجود لك ليك يا داليا.
شكرا يا استاذه جيهان، وتشجيعك ده يعني وسام على صدري فعلا. شكرا ليكي ولتشجيعك ولاهتمامك ولخدمتك المستمره.
لا مش يا حبيبتي، الف سلامه. باي.
شكرا يا استاذه جيهان، شكرا. Okay. We have Nick Wilson. Nick Wilson. Yes. Hi, Nick.
Hi, how are you?
Nick Wilson is running for Assembly member.
53.
District 53. Hi, Nick. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank you for calling today and sharing with us like our fighting for our kids. So, okay, Nick, we know you're running for the Assembly member District 53, and we wish you all the luck. So if you win, how you will fight for our kids?
Yeah, well, thanks for allowing me on, and you're in good hands there with Jennifer Kennedy, who's doing so much to fight for our kids. If elected to state assembly, when we get into Sacramento, everything we do has to be about protecting our kids, because our legislature has really lost control, and they're doing horrible things when it comes to our kids, but especially with the parental notification policy and the war. So we have to protect our kids at all costs, and we have to repeal the laws that they have passed that are a danger to the nuclear family.
Yes,
so,
right.
California has to get back to a place where people can thrive, they can make money, they can be safe, and they don't have to worry about government overreach from Sacramento when it comes to how we raise our children.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Nick, and good luck, and God bless you. And I had an interview with you too, and it was so it was really interesting. And thank you so much, Nick, for sharing
Dahlia,
your call to
could
them.
I share something with your viewers? This is along
Yes.
the lines of what Nick was talking about and
Yes, sure.
what we're all talking about here.
Yeah.
And it's something I didn't know until I got involved in politics in the state of California. And
Okay.
I believe more than 90% of Californians and Americans don't know the following.
Okay.
These laws that make it easier to take a child away from parents now in California, these officials who are instructing teachers not to tell parents what's going on, this is what so many great Americans need to know, especially if you live in California. In our legislature, where these bills, these laws are negotiated and passed, we have a state assembly and we have a state senate, different from the U.S. Senate seat. In the state assembly right now, the state senate, there are a total of 40 California senators. 32 of them are Democrats.
Yeah, I heard.
8 of them are Republicans.
Yes.
In the state assembly, we have a total of 80 legislatures in the state assembly. 62 of them are Democrats. 18 of them are Republicans. Now, if you're in California, all of you great Arabic American voters, you all have a chance to vote for a Republican or a Democrat for the state Senate and the state assembly. What most Californians don't know is because there's a lot of well-meaning Democrat voters. I'm a Republican, but there are a lot of well-meaning Democrat voters. They automatically vote Democrat. And then you wonder, where are these laws coming from that are allowing our children to be taken away from us? Every one of these Democrats in the state assembly and state senate, they all vote exactly the same way. And because there are so few Republicans up there who are against all this stuff, it's called a supermajority Democrats. The Republicans can't stop it. So all well-meaning Americans should at least want fairness in our government. That's all we want, really, is fairness. I'm not telling you who to vote for. But what we don't know as voters is that there is no fairness in California. It's one-party control. It's like we might as well be in North Korea right now in California. And that one-party control, which happens, they call themselves Democrats. Frankly, I call them socialists and Marxists. They all vote for these bills to take our children away from our parents. They all vote for these bills to keep our parents in the dark from our children being told doesn't matter if they're born a boy or girl, they can be anything they want to be. So to all voters, vote for fairness. Don't automatically check that Democrat box, because guess what you're doing? You're voting for your government to allow your children to be taken away from you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. And yeah, I will explain it in Arabic first because this is really important.
And then I want to follow up on that too.
I do
So,
too, as
yeah,
a Democrat.
Okay, you are a Democrat, so I thought you transferred to a Republican,
No,
so you didn't.
she's a
You still-
lifelong Democrat. Absolutely.
Okay, so Mr. Eric قال إن 40 سيناتور 8 بس منهم Republican, 80 Assembly 18 منهم بس 18 only from the Assembly member. 18 only is Republican from the Assembly.
Oh, in
There's
Assembly?
80 in the California Assembly.
Yeah.
80 assemblymen and women.
Total.
Yeah.
Of that total of 80,
I think it's-
62 of them are Democrats.
18 is Republican.
Correct.
18, and so because there's so few Republicans, and they get elected by all the people in every district in
Right,
California,
right,
the Republicans who want to protect our children in these
Right.
issues,
right.
they can't stop the Democrats from, they
Exactly.
can't, because
They
that's the way
can't.
the numbers work. And in the Senate, it's the same thing in the state of
Because the
California.
majority is Democrat, so
It's
no
called
one
the
listens to
supermajority.
Yes.
And in a supermajority, the Democrats get everything they want. The Republicans can't stop it. And no offense, the only people fighting to protect our children up in our state government happen to be Republicans.
Yeah.
Okay, it just happens to be that way. So if you believe in fairness, I'm not telling you to, if you're a Democrat, I'm not telling you you're bad. If you're a Republican, not to. But we need fairness again in government to protect our kids and to protect our families.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. فطبعا زي ما قال مستر إيريك هو مش هيقول لنا اختاروا مين او انتخبوا، بس انت لازم تعرف مين اللي انت بتنتخبه، ما تروحش تحط علامه كده وخلاص، لازم تعرف ده فكره ايه، هل هو مع اولادنا ولا ضد اولادنا، لازم نعرف. واحنا بنحاول ان احنا نجيب الناس اللي هي فعلا مع اولادنا عشان نعرف هم مين. مش معنى كده ان احنا بنقول لكم انتخبوا الناس دي، لا احنا ما بنقولش كده وما بندخلش حريه شخصيه لكل الناس، انت ديمقراط ريبابليكان زي ما انت عايز، احنا ما بنقولكش تختار مين، لكن احنا عايزين نلقي الضوء على الناس، نعرفك هم بيفكروا ازاي. ده اصلا ده خدمتي وده اللي انا كنت عايزه اوصله، ان انت تعرف الناس المكتوبين في البلد دي just names، لازم تعرف who they are، مين دول بيفكروا ازاي، they're against or ولا معانا ولا ضدنا. طيب we have a phone call from Mr. رأفت صليب. استاذ رأفت.
مساء الخير يا داليا، اهلا بيكي واهلا بضيوفك الكرام.
اهلا بحضرتك.
It is a great show and great topic، واحنا يمكن اشتغلنا عليه قبل كده مع بعض فيه
فعلا.
لكن قبل طبعا ما يصدر القوانين دي، لكن احنا كاتحاد عام للمصريين بالخارج بامريكا بندعمك وواقفين معاكي وعايزين نقف مع كل من بيشتغل على هذا الموضوع اللي يخص اولادنا، لان ده موضوع خطير جدا. انا امبارح كنت قاعد مع جاليه كبيره جدا من الجاليه الارمنيه وكانوا يعني سو فرستريتد من اللي بيحصل ده، فهيضموا صوتهم معانا. فاحنا دلوقتي كجاليه مصريه وجاليه عربيه وجاليه ارمنيه كلنا هنتحد مع بعض ونقف ضد القوانين اللي هي هتودي اولادنا في مكان لا يعلمه سوى الله.
مظبوط.
يعني انا I cannot believe it ان انا I have to raise my kids up to 12 years old and after 12 years I give it to the government will take care of it.
Yes.
I cannot believe it. يعني انا مش فاهم where we are going, where we are heading, what they are doing for our kids and the family. They are destroying kids, destroying family. So 12 years old now, he can take decision in his life is he going to be a boy or girl, but he cannot drive, he cannot smoke, he cannot take marijuana, he cannot get driver license, he cannot do all this, but he can change his sexual orientation.
Yes.
I don't know what is going on with America, what happened to America these days. Go back to Arabic language.
Yes.
أنا I need كل اللي بيسمعوكي Egyptian, Arab, كلنا نضم صوتنا. It is the
مظبوط.
right time for us now guys to get involved in politics. ما تفرقش وتقول صوتي مش هينفع، صوتي مش هيعمل شيء،
مظبوط.
صوتك بيغير وهيعمل شيء. أولادنا في خطر، أولادنا في خطر، اللي عنده كيدز اللي عنده جراند كيدز. انتوا شايفين القوانين رايحة فين. أنا عملت حلقة قبل كده مع شيوخ من الجامع الإسلامي المحترمين وكان الدكتور نبيل معانا واتكلمنا في هذا الموضوع والناس
مظبوط.
أبدأ استعدادها، بس عايزين حد تو دايركت زي
صح.
فانت ليدد يا داليا، احنا وراكي.
شكرا.
ده موضوع مهم جدا.
شكرا.
اهم
شكرا.
من اي حاجه نتكلم فيها. ده موضوع خاص بالاسره، ده احنا حاليا بتستروي فاميلي، فلازم نحط ايدينا معاكي. شوف احنا عايزين نعمل ايه، واحنا كاتحاد وانا بصفتي كرئيس اتحاد بضم صوتي معاكي، وكل اعضاء الاتحاد والهيئه التاسيسيه واللجان هيتواصلوا معاكي بحيث ان احنا نشوف نقدر نعمل عمليه صحيحه ومنظمه تفيد ان احنا نقدر نوقف القوانين.
وحضرتك على طول بصراحه بتتواصل وعلى طول بتوفر بصراحه، بتقول لي يعني اللي انت عايزاه ونقف معاكي وعايزين ايه. انا فعلا عايزه اشكرك جدا جدا يا استاذ رأفت على تشجيعك واهتمامك حقيقي، ده مش مجامله، يعني فعلا بتهتم وعلى طول بتسال على فكره ممكن اقول يعني انت بتسالني، يعني بتقولي محتاجه ايه، نقف معاكي ازاي، لان انت فعلا برضك مشغول بالقضيه دي. وانا فعلا يعني كلامك مكالمتك دي يعني شهاده اعتز بيها استاذ رأفت.
داليا انت بتعملي مجهود اكتر من رائع، ولازم كلنا كجاليه ابريشيت وات يو ار دوينج. يعني انت بجانب يور جوب انت بتعملي مجهود رائع جدا، وانا عارف ان انت ما عندكيش اولاد صغيرين، لكن وانا ما عنديش اولاد صغيرين، لكن كلنا بنهتم كجاليه مصريه وجاليه عربيه. لازم نهتم بهذا الموضوع. اللي ما عندوش اولاد هيبقى عنده جراند تشيلدرن وعياله كبرت والى اخره. ده موضوع مهم وطابق مهم جدا، وانا بقول لك اهو احنا في ظهرك. شوفي انت ايه اللي احنا نقدر نعمله.
شكرا.
لان احنا برضو كاتحاد ما عندناش خلفيات في الحاجات دي كلها، لكن انت قولي لنا انت عايزه ايه نعمل ايه، وهتلاقي كل المجموعه. وانا عارفه ان انت على اتصال بمعظم اعضاء الاتحاد.
مظبوط.
والاتحاد ليه باور وليه قوه دلوقتي، ونقدر نعمل اللي انت عايزاه علشان خاطر نطلع من الهم اللي احنا فيه ده.
شكرا يا استاذ رأفت. استاذ رأفت عايز اسالك على حاجه بس قبل، انا مش عارفه اسم الاتحاد ايه بالانجليزي عشان اقول لهم عليه.
General Union of Egyptian Abroad in USA.
Okay. So he's the president of General Union
of Egyptian Abroad in USA.
Yeah, of Egyptian Abroad in USA. So he's the president of it.
We have 1.4 million Egyptians live in USA.
Yes, yes.
Besides all the Arab community, we're talking about 3.7 million people.
Yes, and thank you for your support, and he offered all the support for you guys, and he will do
Thank
his
you.
best to
Thank you for
spread
your
the
hard
petition.
work. Thank you. We appreciate it and we admire it. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shukran.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
I
Ustaz
don't
Rafa.
speak Arabic, but I think I understood everything that gentleman just said.
That's right.
Will you speak Arabic soon once we meet each other? You're going to speak
I
Arabic
think I
better than me.
understood everything you said, and I'm with
Will
you.
speak Arabic better than you me when we meet together, my man.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, شكرا يا أستاذ رأفت. شكرا جدا. He's the president of the Egyptian United. I don't know, like in English, what is the exact name, but he's the president of this United Group for all Egyptian in USA, in America.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and he thank you all. And he's really a big supporter, and he want to share your petition, and
Thank you.
a lot of the organization called me and they took the petition. There's the assistant for the president, his name is Hisham. He printed 1,000 of it.
Wow,
And
fantastic.
spread it in all the mosques in California. Like, yeah, they are doing a great job, and I want to thank you all for supporting everything belong to our kids. Okay,
That's
the
wonderful.
last phone call we'll take, and then we'll continue.
Okay.
Is not the last. Okay. Mr. Mike Cargile. Yes. Hi. Mr. Mike?
Hi, how are you, Dahlia?
Good. How are you? How are you? We're sorry. Thank you so much for your sharing with the phone call, and we really appreciate you. So, Mr. Mike Cargile is running for U.S. representative for California 35th district, right?
Yes.
Yes, and I had a pleasure to interview you last month, I believe, or maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, and it was very interesting one. And thank you for calling today, Mr. Mike.
Oh, it's absolutely a pleasure, and I echo what that gentleman said. Thank you, Dahlia, for all you're doing.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mike. We're praying for all the people we really like to be in the house. So, Mr. Cargile, if you get there in Washington, D.C., how we will fight for our kids?
Well, let's start fighting for them right here, right
Yes.
now. Why wait till I get into Washington, D.C.?
Yes, right. So,
You know, we are in a war for the American family, and actually, the family doesn't have to be American. We are in a war that is an attack on the family unit all over the world right now.
yes,
So what we need to do right now, there's a couple of things going on, and they're attacking our kids, which is an assault on the child and its parents. So we have all of this pornographic material in the schools that you're seeing, here in the Chino Valley School District. They're fighting very hard with Temecula and some other school districts to keep this material out of the classrooms and the library. You're familiar with this, correct?
yes, right.
So there is something that we're not doing that we can do right now. You see, the material that is in the classrooms and the library is illegal. It's not supposed to be there. And the parents who are fighting, they're fighting against the school boards and they're fighting against the administration. But what they need to do is call the police.
Yeah,
It's the same thing as if you had a young child trying to buy alcohol at the 7-Eleven or something.
right.
They're underage, and they're not allowed to buy this alcohol. So in California, we actually have laws. We have penal codes. These are criminal codes. Two of them I know right off. One of them is 288.2. You have Mr. Early there on earlier. He's a lawyer. He understands this.
Yes,
288.2 is a criminal law, and it says every person who knows or should have known that another person is a minor. Well, that's every child in every school.
It's not going to do.
And if they knowingly distribute or cause to be sent any harmful matter that deals with sexual conduct, and that we're talking about showing things in books and talking about things, you see, and this is illegal. They're not allowed to have this, but parents are not calling the police on this. What they need to do tomorrow, they need to go in the class, they need to go in the library, and they need to take pictures. And then they need to call the police and say, this is in violation of California law. And let the police do their job, because no one's calling the police right now.
Yeah.
And this is the first step to taking back that. But what we're talking about, what I heard you talking about earlier, deals with this transgender movement and our children.
Yes.
And this is very, very, very destructive, and it's very dangerous.
Right.
Because we have people that are trying to create little adults that they can exploit. These are pedophile predators.
Yeah.
And I could characterize it like this, Dahlia, we were talking before. If you know what a lawyer knows, then you would be a lawyer.
Right.
And if you know what a doctor knows, then you would be a doctor.
Right.
And when a child knows what an adult knows, they are no longer a child.
Correct.
They have adult images and adult concepts in their child's mind, and they are unable to comprehend this. They're unable to handle it emotionally. They're unable to handle it psychologically. And so you've taken this child and you've destroyed them.
Right.
You literally ripped their childhood from them, and you've made them an adult too early.
Right.
And so why would they do this? Why would they destroy our children? So that they can use them. See, once these people, and these are predators, these are sexual predators, once they have created a victim, now they're going to give them medicine, and they're going to take blockers for puberty, and they're going to keep little boys as little boys for years and years when they should be turning into a man, so that they can use them over and over and over.
Right.
And that's horrible. This is horrific.
Really sad. Yeah.
But it's not still as bad as it is going to be. Because what they're trying to do right now in our schools is they're saying, if you want to change your gender, you don't have to tell your parents.
Right.
And so then the parents, they have no idea what's going on in the classroom. And the child knows. Look, my parents would kill me if they found out what we're doing. Well, the teacher says, then we don't have to tell your parents. We'll find you a new home, because your home is now unsafe. And that's the word we're looking for, unsafe. And if they can remove a child from the home because they say it is unsafe, well, then all they have to do from that point on is redefine what the word unsafe means. And Dahlia, this is where they go, you know what? Are there people in there who are intolerant? They might be Christians. Well, that's unsafe. Or is there a gun in the house? The father wants to protect his family. Is there a gun in the house? Well, that's unsafe. And as soon as they designate your home as being unsafe, they'll take your children.
Yes.
And so they're after any reason to make your home unsafe, so that then they can, and this won't be dealt with in the courts. That's what they're trying to do right now. They're trying to create an administrative tool that can be used to take the children from the home unless they comply with whatever the government tells them to. Otherwise, we will say your home is unsafe, and we will take your children. This is called blackmail.
Yes.
Did I say too much?
No. Actually, we were talking the same thing, and I agree with you, Mr. Cargyle. Like, yes, you're completely right, and it's so sad. It's so sad what's going on, and we really appreciate you and thank you and good luck in the election. And we'll see you soon. We'll have another. You promised me for another interview, right?
Yes, I sure did. Thank
Okay.
you again for all you're doing. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so I don't think we like enough phone calls because
We've had a
we
lot of
got-
great calls. Yeah, but
we
you know,
got-
there's so many angles. There's so much material to talk about in this
Yes.
one issue.
Yeah.
So many
We need
things.
another one,
Yeah,
another episode.
we have so much
Yeah.
more because what he was mentioning, you know, it's already going on, and California was this close to that ruling where parents who didn't affirm would automatically be deemed abusive in family court.
Yeah.
This is what the Democrat supermajority does. They are nothing if not patient. They do what we call incremental laws. They'll do a little bit here and a little bit here, then they wait and they do a little bit more and a little bit more. And what they would have done with AB 957 was make a presumption of law that the parent who didn't affirm gender transition of child of any age
takes
was
the
the
custody.
was not the safe parent. And that passed both houses. It passed our Senate, it passed our Assembly, it went to Governor Newsom's desk. He could have signed it, it would have been law. Luckily, grassroots opposition
Yeah.
made it so awful, he vetoed it.
Well,
Oh,
also
good.
because that one wants to run for president of the United States.
Yeah.
And he knows if he had signed it right now, the rest of America would have said, you're insane.
But he didn't run, right? He
But
didn't?
but
Yeah.
I want to go back to just the conversation about me being a Democrat.
Yeah.
And why it's so important for me to remain a Democrat, because I was,
Yeah.
and I am, since
Yeah.
I was 18 years old. First of all, the party that I joined when I was 18 years old is not in existence anymore.
Okay.
When it switched to be this anti-family, illiberal, not following the Constitution, the Democrat Party is taking away our First Amendment rights. When it did that switch, I don't know, because I was a sheep. I will readily admit that I did exactly what Eric says don't do. I looked at my ballot and I went tick, 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 tick,
Yes,
all down the Democrats because I believed that my party was the party of science, my party was the party of immigrants.
So, Erin, I'm so sorry. Like, when we look at the ballot, we look also for races, like, if it's
You mean the last name?
Yes,
Look
last
for the
name.
name.
Exactly. We look for
We
the
have
name.
to be careful. Don't look for the name anymore. Don't vote for the name.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
you need to spend some time and learn about who is running for office, because we Democrats, we voted all these bills in by voting all these lawmakers in. And I'll tell you, our polling for ProtectKidsCA.com is 75% of Californians are against gender, so-called sex changes for children, and that is independents, Republicans, and Democrats. And the Democrats in office, they don't feel it yet. They need to feel it when we go to the ballot box, that parents, whether you are a Democrat, Republican, or independent, don't want their kids taken from them.
Yes.
And
right.
that's where we join forces, and that's where our power's going to come, is to join forces and say no to those in power, because the rank and file Democrat doesn't believe in any
And
of
this
this
is so
garbage.
important coming from a Democrat.
From a Democrat.
Yes.
Like Erin,
Yes.
yeah, it's easy for me as a Republican to say this stuff, but we're just trying to protect our children,
Yes.
okay? And unfortunately, the way California's government, our legislature's made up right now, because of those numbers I was reading. If you vote Democrat, tick, 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 D, 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 you don't know you're voting for this, but you're saying, yes, make it easier for the government to take my 12-year-old away from me,
Yes.
and make it easier for the government to keep me as a parent totally in the dark if my little kid in class is saying they want to change their sex. Okay, so you can't just automatically vote D, 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 D anymore in California unless you support this kind of stuff that we're trying to fight.
This is a great point.
Yes.
The fact that when you see the D,
Yeah.
if you vote for that, not only that, you're voting for, yep, you locked my kids down the longest. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You took my job under AB 5. I'm okay with that. You want to indoctrinate my children. I'm okay. LAUSD, the queer all-year curriculum. I'm okay with that. If you see the D, those are the people who have made every bad ruling, regulation, and law in this state, really in any context.
Yeah, and we're not saying that you're a bad person
No.
because you're registered as a Democrat. Erin is clearly not a bad person because she's registered as a Democrat. Unfortunately, these ones that run for office, there's a lot of bad ones in there.
Yeah.
Okay, that have a D next to their name. And I've been saying this for the longest time, frankly. They've hijacked the Democrat Party. They run as Democrats because they know everybody registered as a D, D.
Correct.
These people are Marxists. These people are socialists. These people hate this country. These people hate the family unit. I'm talking about the ones that are in our state legislature, not all you great folks out there who happen to vote Democrat all the time. And we better wake up because they know what they're doing, and they are some evil people.
Yeah, so we need to know who we are voting to. So we need to do some research, look at the names. It doesn't matter if he's Democrat or Republican, but we need to know who's this. But the point you're talking about is the majority is Democrats, right?
The majority of voters in the state of California are registered as Democrats.
Yes.
And that's fine. But you want to protect your children? I probably shouldn't say this right here. Start voting R next to the names. You'd be shocked, okay?
Yes.
Unfortunately, as everybody was saying here today, most voters in California are totally in the dark about this
Right,
stuff.
right.
And guess who's keeping them in the dark about this stuff? The DDDDDs that control our government right now.
Right.
And so much of this media out there who are completely in league with supporting the theft of our children from their families.
Yeah.
So we voters have to wake up, folks. It's really in your hands. It's in your control, believe it or not. It is in the voters of California's control. Whether you've got an Arabic background, whether you're Chinese American or Black American, Latino American, or any kind of American, it's in your control. And unfortunately, they have mastered the art of continuing to get elected in the state of California. And they're stealing our children from us. You want to protect your children, take this stuff very seriously, please.
So this is your recommendation for everyone.
Well, my recommendation,
What's
I don't know
your
if you want to hear it, but I know for a
no.
fact, I know for a fact in the
Not
state,
straightforward, just
I know for a fact in the state
Yes.
of California, you want to protect our children, start voting R.
You have to.
right.
As a Democrat,
Yes.
I guess I'm called now a dino.
I never heard that one before.
A Democrat in name only. But, you know, I also want my party to feel the burn. I want them to see a bunch of Democrats voting for a pro-family candidate,
Yes.
a pro-reality candidate. You know, I go to Sacramento religiously and go up and testify, and I bring a whole bunch of Democrats with me. I bring up lesbians. I bring up feminists. I bring up gay men. I bring up every demographic who usually votes for Democrat, and we go up to the microphone and we say we've had enough. And we need them to hear us, and the only way they're going to hear us is in the ballot box, and the petition.
Yes.
I mean,
The
we
petition.
get the petition on, that changes it. I'll tell you one more thing. The Democrats have slammed the door in my face so many times in Sacramento. They will not
Yes.
speak to me.
Yeah.
This is the first year some Democrat lawmakers will sit down and have conversations with me. They're starting to see it. Now we need to push them forward.
Yes.
And that's up to the people in
Voter.
California.
Yes.
And we can do this.
Yes, we can do it.
It bears repeating the numbers. In California State Senate, these are the people that negotiate and pass these bills. There are 32 Democrats and 8 Republicans.
Republicans.
That means the great Republicans up there can't stop any of these bills, not because of numbers. And in the California State Assembly, there's 62 Democrats and 18 Republicans. So everybody passing these laws,
Yeah.
we know who they are.
Okay, Eric, I have a
I just
question.
want fairness in government, really. I want this to be America and not North Korea.
Okay, I have a question for you. We almost done with the show.
Okay.
We have been like 145 minutes, which is so interesting with you guys. We need to talk about the petition quickly. We have a lot of phone calls we didn't even take. It's online. We can take, because I really want to ask each one of you an important question. For you, Eric,
Yes.
since this law is already passed, right? So if you win, and you are a U.S. Senate now, how can you, what you will do
I would
for this
support
law?
every single law that is pro-parent and pro-child. For example, in Florida, they passed a law called the Parents' Rights Act. If we had a national law like the Parents' Rights Act, which keeps this sexual brainwashing out of our children's schools, I would fight for that and support that in a heartbeat. Another thing I would do is we have to start looking. There's billions of dollars of our taxpayer money being sent to these schools all around the country. And if schools are intentionally indoctrinating children to switch their genders, to confuse them sexually, if schools are intentionally indoctrinating their children to hate our country, et cetera, we have to start looking seriously if we're going to let federal money out of Washington, D.C. to go to those schools. So that's just an example. But we need voices again for the people and for the parents and for the children again in Washington, D.C., and I'll absolutely be one of those people.
Yes, and that means you can stop these laws, like.
We need people fighting. You know, you got Democrats, you got Republicans. Unfortunately, in the U.S. Senate, there's 51 Democrats. They all support every single one of these bills that we're against. They're supporting the theft of our children. We need more people like me up there, and there's a couple great Republicans up there right now fighting for our parents and our children. It seems like common sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in this day and age, so much common sense is being blocked by the people who are controlling the brains of so many great Americans.
Yeah, and I know federal, like, it's higher than state, right?
It's the whole nation.
Yeah,
I was going to say, Dahlia, here's the thing. At every level of government, every level, from the highest federal to the state level to the local level, all of those people can make a difference.
Yes.
All of those people in those zones can protect children.
There's the most important part,
That
like
is
the
right.
federal one, right?
That is right.
So
Well,
they can stop these laws. They can, like, offer another bills to cancel, or I don't know how it works, but
You know,
can do it.
unfortunately, in this day and age, when the three of us say the things we're saying here now, we're subject to attack constantly
Yes, right.
from these people who control most of the media and from most of the highly elected officials in our state of California.
Right.
We're subject to attack for saying this stuff. We're somehow homophobic, right? We're racist. We're white supremacists. You know, whatever name they want to come up with.
Yeah.
Us three, we don't care what they call us because we're fighting for the people. We're fighting for common sense.
Yes.
We're fighting for truth. And we're
Yes,
fighting
truth.
for our children.
Actually.
And we will not let them win.
Yeah.
And so, but that's what we're up against in this country right now, and it's very unfortunate.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you all. So okay, okay, this is the last one. Okay.
Sign their petition.
Yeah, we want to sign the
petition.
petition. We want to talk about the petition.
We've been mentioning
So,
it.
can we get the petition first in the TV, please? And then we'll get Jordan last phone calls. Okay, Jordan will
good.
close with you. Jordan, stay. Wait. Okay, so
So
let's
Jordan
get the
Henry's on
petition.
the line?
Jordan,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, let's talk about this. Okay, so this is the
Yes.
Protect Kids of California Act of 24. Can someone move the page? Because that's the first page.
But this is important because it has the address on it.
It's true, but it's the instructions. Okay, when you go,
Okay.
it's very
So
easy.
next one.
When you go to the website at www.protectkidsca.com, look, easy as 1, 2, 3. It
Okay.
has an explanation of how you fill out that petition and how you can become a gatherer of signatures. Dahlia, it's important. We talked the other day.
Yes, we did.
Signers.
They are doing it.
I know. Signers of the petition must be registered California voters, but gatherers, collectors of the
The witness?
signatures do not have to
How
be
do they get a copy of it?
registered. We go to the website, protectkidsca.com.
Okay, number
It's a
3.
packet. Number 3. Let's move on. Okay. This is a great page. You see the little QR codes. When you are out gathering signatures, people can go boop, and pull it up themselves, give them
Right.
their own QR code. Go to the next page.
Four.
Okay. What you're going to see here, see that thing that says top funders? That, When you're gathering signatures, by law, you're supposed to show people this top funders. Who are the largest contributors to this? That's just, it's a petition law. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's important you show people that.
Okay.
Look there at the tiny print where it says official title and summary. Here's the warning.
Oh,
Go ahead.
fifths.
Oh, there we go. Here,
Yeah.
okay. Here's the actual.
This is the start of the petition.
Yes, this is the
Yes.
text
Page
of
5,
the,
6, 7.
Right, that's the start of the, there's the text of the law right there. If people want to read what the proposed law is going to be, there it is.
This is the 3 part we
This is
spoke
what
about.
protect, respect,
Protect,
reject,
respect,
exactly.
reject. Yes.
That's all there. And so then you're going to
6,
move on,
Page 6, yeah.
and that's more language,
Yes,
right?
same
Okay.
thing. It's about the 3 parts.
Exactly, it's the actual
Page 7,
text of
the last one.
There's your signatures.
Yes.
Okay, that one right there has space for 5 signatures. You can get longer forms that have space for 12 and even 21. And there's many things. You can put 1 signature on there and send it in.
Yes.
You can put 5 signatures and send it in. You can do all 21. If anybody makes a mistake, it doesn't matter. Just keep moving
What
and
is
fill
the
it up.
21? I missed the part.
There's a 21 signature.
Where?
On
The only one online?
Meaning you contact.
But I print the packet and it has only this one.
I
has
know the
5.
packet right there. However, if you contact Protect Kids California, they will give you the
Can
other
we
one.
contact you now?
Yeah, I can send you a box.
Absolutely,
please,
absolutely.
yes,
because
yes.
those long ones are easy. If you're in a large group, you
Yes.
fill those things
Especially
right up.
for churches and
Yes,
mosques
exactly.
and all of this.
Here's a ticky-tacky little rule
Yes,
that
can we
everybody
get the
needs
page
to know.
7 again,
Yeah,
please?
let's put that up again.
Yes.
With the signatures
Page
in the
7?
blocks. Okay.
Yes, here.
See those lines like we learned in kindergarten? You have to stay inside the lines.
So
Don't allow.
What happened? Yeah. what
They'll
happened?
reject the signature.
Okay.
They'll reject the signature.
If they
'Cause
get out
remember,
of the line.
the state doesn't want to see this on the ballot.
Right.
The state, as we've been talking about, is, for secrecy from parents. The
Yes.
state doesn't want this. They've
Yes.
tried so hard to make this sound
Yes.
terrible.
Yes.
So do your best to stay inside those lines. The left and the right columns, have your people, if you must, literally I do this, you put little Post-it notes under that
Post-it
last
notes.
line
I
so that,
Yeah.
anybody's P's and G's go down below.
So let's say we got the petition done and we have it as a proposition in the ballot.
Yes.
Okay. What will happen?
Then,
Next step.
Okay, then a proposition number will be assigned.
Okay.
And finally, we'll be talking about vote yes on proposition,
Yes.
fill in the blank.
And as Erin said, 75 of the American people, they don't want this.
That's right.
From us all,
75%
not only
of Californians.
Californian,
don't
I'm
want it.
sorry.
It's
Yeah.
a landslide. It's Democrats, no party preference, and Republican, because the sane thing to be is to say children don't need scalpels. Children need to be left happy, healthy, and whole.
Right.
We're not going to do that to kids.
And you got to ask yourself, why would our state government and the whole media structure, by the way,
Yeah.
fight to have that petition signed and fight against that being on the ballot?
Yes.
Why would they be against it? And that gives you a really good example of what is controlling our state government right now.
Correct.
And
Correct.
Dahlia,
And-
another reason on why would you fight it or what they're doing is, you know what they do? Again, this is not about sexuality. It's not about gay kids. It's not about outing gay kids. This is not, what they do is they drag it all together and they say this is an attack on the LGBTQ community.
Yes.
And that's wrong.
That's wrong.
We're not attacking a community. We
We're
are
protecting.
addressing a contagion. This contagion of transgenderism in children
Yeah.
is sweeping our country. That's what we're addressing.
Okay, the last thing I want to hear it from you. Let's say it went and it passed and it passed.
Okay.
And so what is the result of this? Is that will this allows the prior laws like
Good
how
point.
that will protect our kids if it got in the ballot and then it passed and all of this?
It takes away the law that allows the boys onto the sports teams and
The
into the
3
girls'
parts we
spaces,
ask for.
right?
And this is very great.
It bans the gender interventions. We've seen
Yes.
other states do this around the nation.
Okay.
But the problem is, even if you ban it in other states, those children can run away into California and still be victimized. Parents can bring children into California, and California with SB 107 has promised the rest of the nation, we're going to ignore custody rules in other states. We're going to give you those surgeries here in California. If we stop it here,
Yeah.
that's going to stop it across the nation.
Yes.
It's so important to stop it in a blue state.
Yes. right?
Like, it's vital. Nationally, people should be paying attention to this petition. Anyone across the nation can donate,
Yes. Yes.
and we need everyone donating
Yeah.
to get this petition on the ballot, because California is the root of transgenderism in the United States.
Yes.
We built it. We are it. The only way to get transgenderism out of the entire United States
Is it out in California?
is to pull it from the root, and we are the root.
Yes.
So anyone in Florida should be donating. And I'll tell you what's so exciting is we have donations from, I think now, 45 different states.
Yeah.
Because people understand how important this is. We kill it in California. First of all, we knock out Gavin Newsom as president. Okay?
Yes.
We get rid of Rob Bonta
Yeah.
in all fell swoop. And the Democrats,
Yes.
they shrink.
We want to
and they-
protect our kids.
Yes.
This is our like.
Yes.
This is our project. This is what we really want.
And
Protect the kids.
It stops it truly. We kill California. We stop this in California. It ends it in the world. That's how powerful California is. We
that's
already
our
see
goal. Yeah.
Sweden, Finland,
Yeah.
Norway,
Yeah.
the UK have all stopped this.
Yes. Thank you, Erin.
Thank you.
Actually, we're over the time of.
We have so much
on
to
our
say.
interview.
Sorry.
Yeah, but like we have Jordan in the phone. I don't want to hang up. Like, Jordan, are you still there? Jordan.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Jordan. How are you? I'm so sorry for all the wait, but it's busy. We have a lot of phone calls. We have a lot to talk about.
Hi, Jordan. Join us.
Jordan is running for Glendale School District Board, right? Jordan?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, can we put Jordan in? Yes, here we go. Okay. So, Jordan, so if you win, how you will fight for our kids?
Well, I'm planning on following in the footsteps of Chino Valley and Temecula Unified that have, and other districts as well throughout California that have instituted parental notification policies, which should already be common procedure in public schools, not just in California, but throughout the country. These are government-funded institutions. Parents should really be in the driver's seat. I believe the case law is already on our side, and that's being proven currently in the courts, especially in the recent Temecula Unified decision that came through. Parents should be informed about anything that's going on in their child's education, especially when it comes to matters about their gender, their name, pronouns, how they're being referred to, what names are being written on their records, whether it's a permanent record or and that's being and in my opinion, this should also be included in use of facilities, whether it's a locker room or bathroom, or on a field trip. In my own district, there was a school a block away from me where sixth graders were on a field trip, and there were boys sleeping with girls, and they, quote, identified as girls, but parents were not informed about that.
Yes.
And we actually had to get an attorney to honor a public records request to get that information from our district. That's just so unfortunate that we are at this state right now where parents have to get representation just for our public institutions to honor federal and state law. I'm just really honored to be part of this fight going on in the parental rights movement, and to get education back on track. It's such a blessing to be in California right now, to be able to stand up for our rights and our beliefs, and I'm just really excited to see what happens here in Glendale this Tuesday. So
Yeah. Good
that's my
luck,
2 cents.
Jordan. Yeah, good luck, and thank you. And we hopefully soon we'll hear a good news. Okay. Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And if
Thank
anybody
you.
knows anybody in La Crescenta, the La Crescenta area, please call them. Let them know they can vote for me. And we also have another candidate named Anessa Karpekyan who's in South Glendale, and you can vote for her too. If you know anybody in Glendale, give them a call. Tell them to vote.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Jordan. Good luck.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Dahlia.
Thank you,
Appreciate the time.
Jordan.
Bye.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric. Like, it was amazing today. I have a feeling everyone now heard a lot of stuff we never heard about it before, and thank you for educating my community, because we are missing a lot. Like, we don't know anything about what's going on in our kids' school. We don't know how to fight that, and thank you for fighting for us. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you so much, Erin. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Dahlia.
It's an honor to speak to all of your great viewers and to speak to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And hopefully we hear a good news soon. So, and we'll get another interview when you are a
Let me
U.S.
tell you
Senate.
something.
Yeah.
These two women here are very heroic women.
Yes, they are.
What they're doing
Yes.
is
Yes,
they're
they
doing
are
God's
amazing.
work.
Yes, yes. We are doing God's word, and this is what He wants, like protecting our kids. Thank you all. It was
Thank you.
amazing to be with you today. Thank you so much. شكرا ليكم اعزائي المشاهدين. حلقه بحقيقي مش ساعتين مش عارفين نخلص، وتليفونات كتير ما ردناش عليها. شكرا ليكم ومتابعتكم. لازم تنتخبوا، لازم تنتخبوا، ولازم تمضوا البوتيشن، ولازم تفوت. مهم قوي 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 نعرف مين الناس اللي احنا بنعمل لها فوت، عشان هم دول اللي بيحموا اولادنا. ما تروحش نعمل علامات وخلاص. ركزوا وشوفوا مين هيحمي اولادنا. اولادنا في خطر، اولادنا في خطر. اذكرونا في صلواتكم، ومع السلامه.